Okay, so this is my Victory Gardens project, and as I mentioned in the interview, this was mostly a server-side back-end project, so it's pretty visually unappealing, um, but we're more focused on the logic and the functionality for this one. So here's my workspace, and we built our project on the model view controller design, um, which just means that we separated the back-end logic from the front-end um, user interface type stuff and the database stuff, which we used MySQL for. Um, so here, these files that you see are mostly concerned with the back-end functionality. Um, these files are the user interface HTML type stuff. And we separated these into two different sections, one for the logged in user and one for, I guess, the general public. And the purpose of that was so that you couldn't type into the URL someone else's information and access their pages if you were them. And we control that by having sessions where it recognizes the current user and whose page you're accessing, so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to start the server. It's going to take a couple seconds. Okay, so now I can access this locally. Okay, so here's the home page. Like I said, not very pretty. But on our home page, we allow the user to search for crops by 3 different criteria. So one would be you put in your zip code, and you can search for people who are around you or crops that are around you, or you can search by crop name. And here I implemented a little Ajax-y type thing with JavaScript and PHP, so that if you were typing things in, it would suggest crops based on what's already existing in the database. So there's that. And then you can search by climate, which the user enters in for each crop. And also we have here the top, or not the top 5, but the last 5 users and the last 5 crops that were added, so you can kind of get an idea of who's accessing the site and what they're doing and stuff. So let's start by signing up. So let's sign up someone new. Let's do Bob. And this site has JavaScript and server-side validation, so that if a user doesn't put in the correct information that we need to put them in the database, they won't be able to continue. Lost track here. Bob Smith. Okay, so we're going to say sign me up, and then I'm going to log in as Bob. Oh, and you'll see here that after we added Bob, he got added to the database. Here's Bob and his information that he entered in. Okay, so here we're at Bob's profile page. So on the profile page, you can do a few things. You can edit your personal information, so you see here that the fields are currently null, so you can definitely add information about yourself so that it's no longer null. You can add crops based on what already exists in the database. You can add a new crop and put in the information yourself. And you can manage your profile. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I just wanted to cover what else is on here. The basic information, so like I said, if you edit your information here, it'll be updated here. There's going to be a list of your friends, but Bob's a new user, so he currently doesn't have any. And then for people near me, we set it up so that we would scan through the database and pull zip codes that were within 200 numbers from you. So these are people with zip codes that are, I guess, in a sense, within 90 to 300 and whatnot. So this is me. So here we have my garden, and I don't know Angela, so we implemented the functionality to add people you don't know as a friend. So I'm going to click on add Angela as a friend. And if we log in as me, you can see that Bob was prompted to, I was prompted to add Bob as a friend. So I'm going to add him. So it says Bob would like to be your friend. I'm going to accept. And then we're going to log back in as Bob. And it will show here that I'm Bob's friend. And Bob can go back to my page, send me a message. And then if I log back in again as me, I should see that message. Okay, yeah. So here it says message from Bob. Hello, this is a test message. And then, yeah. Okay, so that's the interaction between the users.